Hello and a very warm welcome to you from the Hougang Stadium. It is the final day of the 2020 Singapore Premier League season. Hougang United are playing Albirex Niigata. Why is this a massive game? Well, Albirex are leading the table on the final day and are in pole position to take the 2020 SPL title. Hougang are not in contention for anything now, and that's because they lost to Balestier on the previous match day when they were hoping to get into contention for the final AFC Cup spot. This is how the table stands. Just 1 point separates Albirex Niigata and Tampines Rovers in second. Champions League has already been decided. Tampines are on the way to the big leagues next year. Lion City Sailors are also confirmed. It's between Balestier and Geylang International for that final spot. Geylang are playing Tampines in the Eastern Derby, and Balestier, well, they'll be hoping they can do the business as well against Lion City Sailors, who effectively have got nothing to play for. Young Lions are also up against Tanjung Pagar United. That is for the wooden spoon. So pretty much all the games today have got something on the line. So plenty to talk about, plenty to get through today with all the action coming up. Let's hear from the men in charge very shortly. But first, we'll talk about some of the key players. Farhan Zulkifli, the youngster, 18-year-old, coming in today. Got a goal last season, got a goal this season. He's a one to watch out for. The club certainly feel he's a key player. And he'll be delighted to have started today in the final match of the season. Farhan Zulkifli. Always good to have someone coming through the ranks. And Hougang are very good at that and very keen to see him continue with them. Albirex Niigata, Tomoyuki Doi, has got 11 goals. He needs 4 to overtake Stipe Plazibat and be the Golden Boot winner for the 2020 season. He has been in hot form, scored 2 goals in the last game against Tanjung Pagar, one right at the end in the 93rd minute. So that has helped his tally, and I'm sure he'll be looking to try and get, well, 4 is going to be hard, isn't it? It's a big, big ask. The last player from Albirex to be the top scorer was Shuhei Hoshino. Now, we're going to look more towards the start of this game. First, let's hear from both teams.
Coach, last game of the season, what are you expecting from your players today?
As per what they have been playing all through the season, nothing will change. Definitely, we will do our best, and which they have been doing ever since we came back from our game against Balestier. So nothing has changed, nothing will change.
With nothing at stake today, do you feel that Hougang can do better than in recent games because the pressure is off?
Sorry, pride at stake. Yeah, definitely pride at stake. I mean, look, we easily we could just say, okay, fine, it's the last game of the season. Whether we win or we lose, we will still be where we are. I think that is the wrong mentality. So we definitely will be playing for a lot of pride, and definitely to stop the losing streak that we are going through right now.
Getting the 3 points today will ensure that the league title goes to Albirex. How big is today's game?
As you know, this is the biggest match for us in this season, and we are still in title race. But this is a away game, so it's going to be a very tough game today.
How do you ensure that your team stays focused on the task at hand?
Well, actually, it's not decided yet. So we will talk to players. We have to be hungry, and we have to focus on this game.
And getting the win today would mean Albirex winning your 5th title in 5 seasons. What would that mean to the club? We still haven't got title yet. So after a game, maybe I will speak to you. Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
So good to hear the thoughts then of from both sides. And it's a shame, of course, Hougang United, after all the heroics of last year and being involved in the AFC Cup as well this season. That got curtailed. COVID has also affected, of course, the contracts of their two foreign players, Zach Anderson and Charles Mitchell, and they've left the club. So it has affected things for sure. And they now languish effectively in the lower part of the table. But on the positive sides, Albirex Niigata looking to add to their 4th title. Remember, they dominated local football 2016, 17 and 18 when they won everything on offer, and I mean everything. And well, this year there is only the league title up for grabs. No League Cup and no Singapore Cup as well, unfortunately, with all that's happened. But of course, very happy everyone is at least that we have got some kind of season that we can try to complete this year with just 2 rounds, of course, and no Brunei DPMM who've had to sit things out because of COVID-19. But Albirex will be keen. I'm sure there'll be some nerves. We'll also be keeping close touch with what's going on at Al Tampines Hub in the Eastern Derby. And in a way, of course, that's a harder match. Not only is it a derby, no love lost between the two Eastern clubs, but Geylang do have a place in Asia to fight for. And Hougang really don't have that much, apart from, of course, getting as many points as they possibly can. Here are your officials for today. The referee is Herman Zaiton. He is assisted by J. Ashrak Raj and Mohammed Hilmi Fuad. Being led out right now, this Hougang side with the skipper there, Fabian Kwok. The home side here. Nice for them to be back, of course, at Hougang Stadium, but they haven't won 2 successive games in a long, long time. The record isn't great at the moment. They're not really concerned about that. I'm sure they'll want to try and do, well, what they want to do, a favour for Tampines Rovers. A draw may be enough. They'll, I'm sure, want to try and go for a win. Albirex Niigata have been so good in recent years, haven't they? 9 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, 31 goals scored, 14 conceded. 1 loss in their last 5 games, and that includes the 4-1 hammering they received at the hands of Tampines Rovers. What a turnaround that game was.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the AIA Singapore Premier League. Let's hear it once again for Albirex Niigata Singapore and Hougang United.
So just trying to complete the formalities. As mentioned, Herman Zaiton in charge here. Could be a feisty affair. The 2 skippers, as I mentioned, Fabian Kwok and Kazuki Hashioka. He could be lifting the trophy in a couple hours from now. Hougang just been plagued by inconsistency, haven't they? They've also lost their top scorer, Stipe Plaza, but it says a lot that he's still their top scorer with 5 goals, and he left, of course, before the restart of the season. So they have been lacking in goals. Now let's have a look at the lineups, and there is a problem, of course, for Hougang. They're missing the services of the young Kyrgyzstani centre-back Maksat Jakibaliev, who's serving a 1-match suspension after accumulating 4 yellow cards. Also, Justin Hui, who scored in that previous game, opened the scoring for Hougang he is on the bench. In come Nazrul Nazari, the Singapore international, and as I mentioned earlier, Farhan Zulkifli. For Albirex Niigata, well, why spoil things if it ain't broke? They are going with the same starting 11 today as the one that defeated Tanjong Pagar just a few days ago. And Faris Hassan there will be up against his old club, his former club, Faris Hassan. So it's the title at stake for Albirex Niigata. Pride here for Hougang United. They'll want to win. They'll want to finish on a winning note. And Keiji Segatomi could be part of that winning team in a couple of hours from now. We'll have to wait and see how things go. As that is lofted right to the back. Forward by Kamata. Well, we did expect in this game perhaps to see possession being kept by Albirex Niigata, but it's nice to see coming forward Hougang. Oh, and that just failed to control the ball. Hafiz Sujad. And Zaplin. Well, they started working on the front foot here. Hafiz. Now Farhan. I've got to say, it's a very bright start indeed. Good to see from Hougang. They are going on the front foot, and that is pleasing, I'm sure, for their fans. We'll could see a few of them watching the game from just outside the stadium. We'll see. They normally find themselves around, supporting the side. Talking of which, we have got 200 fans at our Tampines hub today, and a little sort of experiment to see how that will work out for the future. Oh, lovely, lovely work there from Imran Hakim, one of the two Singaporeans in the side today. Out wide here to Muhaimin. Well, the shot was taken by Nikesh Singh. They're doing all the attacking at the moment. Hougang, good to see. Very good at possession. I'll tell you what, Albirex have not gotten the ball yet. Fabian Kwok sends it back to Ridwan, his goalkeeper. The only problem is whether they can sustain this kind of intensity throughout. They're up against arguably the fittest team in the league in Albirex Niigata. Throw out to Aplin. Well, first time they've tried to put some pressure right up top. Now trying to lead the attack. And Zaplin. That's a really good ball out wide to Muhaimin. Still Muhaimin. Well, he might try to pull the trigger. In the end, it's scrambled away by Kamata. Well, impressive so far from Hougang. Up and trying to play that down through the middle. Fabian Kwok. They've won the ball back here, Albirex. Nagasawa. He's got his captain right there, not taking that chance. Rafik Noor trying to make things difficult. Going to get a corner. Kamatio not happy with something. Screaming out his players. Right, now they can get some of the big guns up top. Albirex. Shawwal. There it goes. Right back to Doi. Plenty of bodies. You want them up just outside the area. This will be launched back in, it looks like, by Hashioka. And that is easy for Ridwan. Poor control, I'm afraid, from Shawwal Anwar. This is very positive from Hougang. Albirex slowly trying to get to grips with this. Lionel Tan. Good work there from Fabian. He'll be just there screening in front of the back four and trying to break up attacks. Shawwal trying to head that on, and Farhan got a little touch in it. Here's Hashioka. Doi. This is what they're very good at. They'll go from side to side, they'll keep possession. Good passing. That was a clever ball and a great turn as well by Doi. No foul. Here's Shawwal. That's well read by the defender Takada. Now Farhan looks up for his options. There's it safe to Afik Noor. Uplink across to Nazwan Nazari. Yeah, they certainly could have probably done with Taki Baliev as an extra option at the back. Hougang. It will be massively disappointing, of course, that they have faltered in getting a place in the AFC Cup, a competition that they entered for the first time in their history. Bit of a mixed bag, that one for Hougang, but it was their first ever appearance, so they've enjoyed that experience. Shawwal looks up, thought about perhaps trying to bring in Mohaimin. Here he is now, Mohaimin. It's a good run by Shawwal into the penalty area, right across the goal, and that's too close to the goalkeeper Okawa. Again, promising. Got a little pocket of space there. Here's Sakuma. And across to Takada. Now we've got everyone back for Hougang behind the ball, apart from Shawwal. Can use that pace of his. Sees a good run. There's just too much on that. Farhan isn't going to get to it. Good thing is to see that Hougang aren't necessarily defending deeply. Trying to squeeze things at the moment. And the concern of that is, of course, that there are some quick players here in this Albirex lineup. Touched on by Doi. And will get away from Nagasawa. No great rush to take this. Ridwan Baharudin. Now the time back to Zappelin. Also a touch on by Fabian Kwok on the turn. Nikesh. Be a little bit careful with, it's a loose ball in midfield that can be transitioned quickly by Albirex. Measured approach so far by the league leaders. Who given a big boost, of course, when Lion City Sailors held Tampines Rovers in that massive game in the last round just a few days ago, in which Lion City had to win to have any chance of taking the title fight to the last day. Fortunately, they couldn't do the job. Afik Noor, that's a great looking ball. Farhan was gone for goal, and it's not too far away. It's the first effort on that side, on the left-hand side. Farhan, lively customer. Great work from him. It's a real live wires. One of the, we picked him out as the key player today. Afik Noor, nice ball into him as well. Just cut inside, created a little bit of space for himself. Couple of step overs, every right to go for it. Doi, good work, but he's left himself too much to do. Beginning to hear some of the Hougang hools just outside the stadium. Always good, I'm sure, for these guys to hear that. Remember, these two met just less than a month ago, on the 8th of November. Albirex with a 4-0 win. It was Hougang's biggest defeat of the season. And that broke a 5-game winless streak in all competitions against Hougang. In fact, this has been a bit of a bogey team for Albirex Niigata. More on that in a while as they come forward here. Albirex. Everyone quite happy to take his time. A bit of hesitation there. Doi won't get to it. Lionel Tan does. Kamata trying to dispossess him. That's good work from Afik Noor. Kamata to Nagasawa. Nazrul Nazari plays it out. Fabian, that's too much for Afik Noor. Looked like a foul from Nazrul. Wasn't that necessary, but now that means it's a free kick in a potentially dangerous area. They've got some big players there. One to really watch out for is the big number 3, Takada. Lofted in, it should be easy for Ridwan, he grabs hold of it. Here's Afik, now Hafiz Sujad. Back to Anders Applin. This game has settled a little bit more now, hasn't it? To perhaps how many people thought it might be, with Albirex now just trying to press a little bit, cause a bit of pressure to win back possession. Haven't had many chances. It's a pleasing thing as far as Hougang are concerned. I'm sure Tampines fans would be concerned too. They're going to play balls like that, they'll be very happy, Hougang. They've outshot Albirex at the moment. 2 shots, they've had 2 chances. Referee just running up there, little sign that he wants things to be moved quickly along, doesn't want to see time wasting. It's pretty interesting, it's only the 16th minute. Nazrul Nazari. Had to pay that back, Kamata. One back nicely by Taniguchi. No foul. Farhan. It's actually a really good ball out to Shawal. Now, he loves running at players, using that speed of his, trickery. Waiting for some support. Never really came. We'll try and get you some score updates when we can. Easy one for Okawa. Well, let's see what is happening in the league. No goals at the moment. There was a bit of a delay, Tanjung Pagar versus Young Lions, because of the lightning warning system out there in Jurong East. 3 other matches on at the moment. Decent ball in. Oh, and that's a block, it looked like. Muhammad, I think, in the way. And Nazrul as well. Here's Nagasawa. Just trying to stretch that Albirex defence. And that will be shepherded out by Lionel Tan. They'll be happy with that. Yeah, you can see he's really trying to take his time, isn't he? Ridwan. A little second will help. That's a very poor goal kick, I'm afraid. They have got away with it. Here's Lionel Tan, who is chased down, much to the delight of his teammates. Imran Hakim doing the job. Nagasawa loses the ball out to Nikesh, who slips that through. Farhan, can he finish it? Oh, he screwed it wide. He was through on a very tight angle, but he had more time than he thought. And that is a key moment in this game. Great work from Nikesh. Slipping that ball through, lovely run from Farhan. Did anyone say he had time? Because he did have more than he thought. And a few hearts have been broken in Eastern Singapore. Well, that has been by far the best chance of this game. They've just got to keep focused here, Hougang, because that's when Albirex can certainly punish you. Now Nagasawa, that's running at players. Well, Haimin with the foul. That's a couple of free kicks they've conceded on this side. And a player like Nagasawa will attract those kind of fouls. Kurishima to take this. Got to keep alert here, Hougang, as it's delightful ball played in and a tight angle. You can see Doi was getting ready to shoot and Applin got it away. Wasn't very happy with the challenge from Doi. Still having a bit of a go at him. What a chance that was, wasn't it, for Farhan Zulkifli. Just need a steady head. He is 18. I think we have to be putting that into context. He always get regular game time. Came back from suspension in the previous game. Was on the bench. Not like he gets loads of starts. Here's Shawal, just trying to slip that in to Nazrul, who was making a good run. We'll get a corner here. Now we've got the likes of Lionel Tan and Anders Applin, who can be very useful at these set pieces. Nikesh should take this. Deep one, very deep. Too much on it. Good work from Anders Applin. He gets another cross in. That's not a bad ball, and it's just over. Shawal Anwar. I've got to say, right now, after 23 odd minutes, it is Hougang who are looking the sharper of the two sides. And they're likely to score the first goal. They are still dangerous, of course, Albirex. Well, I think we're going to have a break here, and a chance now for both coaches to have a word about how things are going. And I think you'd have to say Clement Teo will be the happier of the two coaches right now, as opposed to Shigatomi. Players do look a bit leggy. Remember, they have not made any changes to this side. Mind you, it's only been a couple of changes for Hougang as well. But they're having pockets of space that they can play with on the flanks. Farhan on one side, you've got Shawal that actually drift onto the right-hand side at times, creating all kinds of problems. Word there, by the way, going on with Doi and Joherman Zaiton, the referee. Just wonder whether that was because of what was happening with him and Anders Aplin earlier. This is very pleasing as far as Hougang are concerned. Mind you, in a different kind of scenario, it was Tanjung Pagar who kept Albirex at bay for the first half. We have a goal, by the way, in the Eastern Derby, and this is going well for Tampines. This is not going well for Tampines because Barry Maguire has opened the scoring in the 24th minute for Geylang against Tampines Rovers. So as good as Hougang have been, well, they need to be getting at least a point, remember. Maguire getting an important goal which means AFC Cup for them, potentially, if they can better whatever happens with Ballistic Khalsa today. That's a big, big result. I wonder if that is getting back to Shigatomi. I have to say, I'm not seeing anyone say anything. Nikesh. Hafiz Sujad, I think he was just slipped over. As he took that shot, of course difficult to get the word across when you can't have the phones there, but anyway, all he can do is focus on what is going on here. Now Nagasawa. Mohammed was right on him. Here's Fabian Coy's got a lot of pressure on him, Nagasawa, whenever he has the ball. Nikesh trying to play Farhan Zulkifli through. That's not the first time he's attempted that. Ball over the top. And nicely done by Nazrul Nazari. They've looked solid. Good to have someone like Nazrul back in the side. Big One has actually had precious little to do so far in this game. Ball to Mohammed. Back to Nazrul. And now Lionel. He'll look to Anders Aplin. Offside. Oh, that might looked a bit tight. Offside on Mohammed. So what you've got here for Hougang is Fabian Kwok just screens in front of that 4. They also slot back into defence and allow Nazari and Hafiz Shujad to go forward. Nikesh also has some defensive duties, as you just saw there. A huge goal for Barry Maguire. Questions as to whether he will stay with Geylang International for next season. He'll be a big, big loss if he goes. One of the most experienced, highly qualified players in the SPL, having played with Utrecht in the Eredivisie. Also involved in the Europa League before. And being involved in AFC competition, that's a big one, isn't it, for Geylang? It's been a long, long time. Remember them getting to the semi-finals more than 15 years ago. Nagasawa. Again, he always has one or two players around him when he's on the ball. Here's Kamata. That looked like a late challenge by Nazrul Nazari. Might come back to look at that. There's definitely a foul. Nikesh saying, I got the ball. He's got a yellow card instead. Well, let's see if he perhaps had a point. But there was certainly looked to be a foul by Nazrul Nazari. Well, that's certainly a foul. That's what Shigatomi's pointing out. And he wasn't hauled up for that one. He didn't even have a word, I don't think, with Nazrul Nazari. Given quite a few free kicks, haven't they, already? Good work keeping alert. Behind him, couldn't quite control the ball. Well, effortless from Kurishima. Zaplin. Might just be allowed to go up for a corner. No, it's still alive here for Albirex. Lovely touch on from Nagasawa, trying to play in Doi. A little bit of nerves there, but they've got through with it. Away by Muhaimin. Afik Noor, good touch on. Now comes Nikesh. He looks up at his options. It's the speed of Shawal. Needed to be a better pass through to him, though. But when they are trying to spring the trap like that, they are really dangerous, Hougang. Nazrul. And the time. Got away with that one just about, perhaps. Let's see, here's Doi, he's going to go for goal! Oh, that's the best chance they've had so far. Ridwan says, I didn't actually make the save, that came off the post. It's going to be a corner, I'm not sure he touched that. Ridwan, if he did, that was a great save. But he himself is saying, I didn't touch it, and it's been overruled. It is going to be a goal kick. But all you have to do is give Doi a little sniff. And he almost took his chance. Final time. His ball cannoning off Imran Hakim. Put through, look at that. Yeah, it's off the post, isn't it? For sure, that was the right call by the referee. It's our first effort, as you can see, and it's taken them more than half an hour to do that, so that is very good as far as Hougang are concerned. A little bit careless. I think Noor's done well. Looking for Shawal. He's got the run if he needs. Shawal! Oh, that was close. Took a flying save there from Okawa. He had an overload as well, took the shot. I think he was entitled to do that. A little bit careless there by Taniguchi. Afik playing him in. Great work by Shawal. Had some really good chances, haven't they, Hougang? Now, can they do something off this corner? The last one was a little too deep from Nikesh. Lionel, straight to the keeper, and David Kwok apologizes for colliding with the goalkeeper. Taking some time to get up here, Okawa. Did look a little bit late, I have to say. One thing we do know about Albirex, they're a very patient side. They're not panicking just yet. Anyway, Results are going their way right now, with Geylang International in front against Tampines. The ideal scenario, of course, would have come into this day with 3 teams fighting for the title, 3 teams looking for a place in Asia, and 2 teams squaring off to not finish last in the league. Those 2 teams, of course, playing, that's Young Lions and Tanjung Pagar. We would have had a scenario where the 3 teams looking for the title were all up against the 3 teams playing for a place in the AFC Cup. Fortunately, because Lion City couldn't beat their opponents in the last game, Tampines Rovers, in that scenario, of course, Hougang lost to Balestier as well. A nice interchange of passes here. Shot is taken. That's the first save we've seen from Ridwan. Taniguchi with the effort, but again, it wasn't particularly a stretch for him. Fairly comfortable. It was in fact Doi, wasn't it? No real power in that shot. Fabian just trying to get down to the path of Farhan. Taniguchi, as he bundled off the ball there by Farhan. This is Fairoz Hassan. He's been pretty quiet out on that right-hand side. Not seeing too much of the ball. Heavy touch on by Farhan. Nazrul doesn't get there. Here's Nagasawa. Back to Kamata. Puts it into the box. There's a lot of players in front of him. Now, can they come forward? Could see exactly what Mohammed was trying to do. He saw Shawal ready to pounce. Now go forward, Hafiz Shujad. Too much again on that for Shawal to get on the end of. Doi has got Lionel right there on him. It's like that one shot, 2 shots in fact, but pretty quiet. It's very positive as far as Hougang are concerned. They need more than that though. We have got a goal, Lion City Sailors against Balestier Khalsa. 2 goals in fact. Sharon Ishak and Saifullah. This is very good at the moment as far as Geylang International are concerned. Remember, they are winning, they're leading at the moment against Tampines Rovers. Very good work by the skipper Hashioka. It's going to be a goal kick. In fact, this is the only game right now in the SPR without any goals, as luck would have it. Young Lions are also in the lead against Tanjung Pagar. This run here from the skipper. This has come off him, yeah, clearly. Hashioka, Kari Nadim with the only goal, by the way. Barry Maguire's got that goal for Geelong International. As things stand, it's looking very good for Geelong. Remember, the news that came through just a couple of days ago is what happened with Tanjong Paga and Fielding taking off an under-23 player, replacing him with an overage player in the first half, which meant that they effectively put on an ineligible player. And the 1-0 win that Geelong got became a 3-0 win, so they didn't get any more points, but their goal difference has improved. They were only one goal worse. Oh, that's fluked over by Shawalanwa. Another chance for the Geelong forward, for the Hougang forward, excuse me. That's a great ball in, isn't it? From Nikesh. And just going back to the point I was making, that actually Balestier had a much better goal difference of 3 goals better, but now it's just gone down to 1, and of course that one was cancelled out when Maguire scored. And now they've conceded a couple as well. Geelong in the driver's seat. Geelong need to hold on here, or at least try to get a draw and hope that Balestier can't come back. Oh, that was just the way he got away with it. Farhan, who puts his hand in apology, but makes up for it. Nicely done by Fabian up to Hafiz. Final few minutes of this first half. No goals yet, but it's Hougang who've been the better of the two sides. Fabian trying to clear, got to Mohamed. Oh, that's a poor ball. He was trying to get that down the line to his teammate Shawal Anwar. Hashioka. Faros just gets a little touch on it. Not enough. Here is Farhan. Now Hafiz. Lovely turn. Nikesh is having a good game. Lanatan looks up. Finds Nazrul Nazari. But just enough there, Sakuma. Nazrul with the late challenge. Oh, that could easily have been a yellow card. Still on the ground here, Taniguchi. Ignore, just having a quick drink, talking to his coach. You can just see out these last couple of minutes, and Taniguchi is still saying, what about that, ref? Well, it was a bad foul, there's no doubt about it. He's going to go off for some treatment. That's 3-1 now. We last told you it was 2-0. Shime Zuzul has pulled one back for Balestier. That still may be important in the final count. Actually, after Shime Zuzul scored, there was another goal for Lion City Sailors. We've got those details for you shortly. put pressure on those defenders there, the Hougang forwards. We've got a couple of minutes to see this first half out. Nazrul. It's just gone out of play. So trying to make a nuisance of himself with
And the coach has just indicated that there will be a minimum of 2 minutes of added
time here. Lionel Tan does enough to get it away. Now Kamata. Final assault perhaps from Albirex this half. Well, good work here from Muhaimin. He's got Nagasawa right on him. He needs support, finds it in Lionel Tan. Keeping the ball well here. Hougang. Will give it back to Ridwan, who has to get rid of it. And this could be a little chance. Fairoz. He's looking out for the goal. What a shot that is. Again, Ridwan equal to the task. Good effort from Fairoz. Let fly there. They certainly wouldn't have wanted to concede right before half-time. It would have been a bit ironic to have conceded against their old player. Corner here, this most likely to be the final bit of play in this first half. A foul in the process as Taniguchi got to the near post to try and flick that across. Not moving particularly comfortably after that challenge from Nazwa Nazari, is he? Well, I'm sure once this kick is taken, we will have half-time. Well, there we have it. It's been an entertaining first half in which Hougang United have been the better side. They've created more, they've had the best chances, and probably should have got on the score sheet. There were a few bright moments for a very patient Albirex Niigata. They toiled a little bit, didn't they, at the start? Took some time to get into this game. Doi with predictably a couple of efforts. Faris Hassan with one right at the end, but it might be Hougang who feel that perhaps it should be a scoreline in their favour. However, here at the Hougang Stadium, as it stands, it's Hougang United 0, Albirex Niigata 0. back here at Hougang Stadium for the SPL match. Final day of the season, Hougang United up against Albirex Niigata. No goals so far, but there's been a fair bit of goalmouth action in what's been an exciting game up till now. Let's have a look at some of those highlights. It was Hougang who started the far brighter of the two sides. Muhaimin, Shawal, Nikesh and Farhan all showing great movement in coming forward. Here was Muhaimin again. He was always looking for that little pocket of space for Shawal to try and explode this pace. That one was far too close to Okawa, the goalkeeper. It took quite some time to get going for Albirex. This was a great opportunity, probably one of the best they've had. Nikesh with a lovely through ball for Farhan Zulkifli. When he rounded the goalkeeper, just lost his nerve, I suppose. Got a little too excited there. The angle was tough for him. Could have set himself. It was a wild attempt in the end, but they looked good at this point. This was the first real chance for Albirex. It took them more than half an hour. Doi, who has racked up the most shots of anyone in the league, more than 70 now. And that's more than double anyone else. Coming off the post in that instance. Doesn't need too many chances, does he? This was great work from Afik. He found Shawal, and this was a wonderful attempt that had Okawa having to scramble across to make the save. He's kept quite a number of clean sheets, remember, Okawa. 7th clean sheet this season, more than any other player. This was another attempt from Doi. Again, fairly straightforward for for Ridwan. No real power in that. And he still kept coming forward. This was just looped over. A very good touch on, wasn't it, from Shawal Anwar, getting in front of his man. And he just dinked it over the top. Very clever of him, getting ahead of Sakuma. This was Fairuz Hassan with the long-range shot. Actually, a pretty good one. Plenty of power in it, but again, Ridwan had it more or less covered, didn't he? It wasn't too difficult for him. So it has been encouraging as far as Albirex are concerned. They've had far more attempts, as I said, more than double Albirex Niigata's. Both have had a couple of shots on target. Hougang, though, will feel that they probably should have got the lead by now. But this is good. This result is good for Tampines Rovers if they are doing better. They can't be, well, a draw might be enough. Won't be enough, in fact. And Tanjung Pagar are playing young Lions with the only goal from Kairin there. That was in the 13th minute. Kairin Nadim. It's goals galore at the Bishan Stadium with Sharali Shak and Saiful Akbar giving Lion City Sailors a 2-0 lead. Danish with an own goal for Balastier. Shimez Uzul 2 minutes later pulling one back. And the only goal in the other title match is Geylang International's Barry Maguire has scored against Tampines Rovers. What that means now, as things stand, there you go. Albirex, despite not getting any goals here, 2 ahead of Tampines Rovers. And Lion City Sailors, well, their game has no bearing on this. Though the fourth spot right now is going to Geylang International. That's important because of the AFC competition, the final spot up for grabs. So this is where it stands here at Hougang Stadium. No goals between Hougang United and Albirex Niigata. We'll be back with the second half. back at the Hougang Stadium. The SPL match between Hougang United and Albirex Niigata. This is a title match. Albirex already came into this game a point ahead of Tampines Rovers, who are losing at the moment to Geylang International. And even if they get that draw out of it, they'll both be on 29 points, but goal difference will be Albirex Niigata's favour.
Please welcome Albirex Niigata,
Remember,
Singapore, and
Geylang can't afford to
Hougang
lose that game
United.
because they may be out of AFC contention again. It will all come down to goal difference. No goals in this match as of now, but we are seeing a change, a couple of changes in fact. The big striker, Ryo Nishiguchi, is coming on. And he'll be joined by Ryo Mitsuzuka. I have a feeling it is both the Singaporean players who are being taken off in Iman Hakim and Fairoz Hassan. I'll just confirm that for you. Doesn't look like that from my vantage point. And so we'll have that for you in just a short while. I think it is going to be indeed could bring something different to the table, wouldn't he, Nishiguchi? The discussion there with the officials. It is indeed Mitsuzuka's on for Fairoz. And Iman Hakim.
Half-time substitution
Quite
for
useful. Both of them
Albirex
actually had their
Niigata,
moments,
number
didn't they, in
16,
that
Fairoz Hassan,
first
and
half.
number 17, Iman Hakim, are being replaced by number 9, Ryo Nishiguchi, and number 14, Ryuya Mitsuzuka.
Confirmation of those changes there on your screen, and they're trying to just beef up their attacking lineup. Only two changes we have, nothing from Hougang, and no need to really, they've been playing pretty well. So Mitsuzawa should be slotting in up top. It looks like, yeah, he'll be up top with Doi. And on the left-hand side of attack will be Ryo, though he can go into a more central area as well, if required. So he's taken Fairoz Hassan's place. Ryo trying to keep that alive. It's a goal kick. Good one. Call into action a couple times. Wouldn't say they were massive saves to make, but he did what was required. Here is Nishiguchi. is just beginning to set here. Is it setting as well on Tampines' hopes of a first title since 2013? Still a lot of football to come. They do need to get something out of that game against Geylang International. They need to win, really. Rio, they're colliding with Nazrul. You might just be able to hear some of those Hougang Halls fans. They will make their presence felt as this continues. They had the better of the chances, didn't they, in that first half? Lionel Tan pumps that forward. Takada in the way. Oh, and just getting past. Doi got past Fabian Kwok there. Rio wanted the ball. Nasser Nazari in the way. Foul on Muhaimin. Anders Applin. You can see he was just waiting for Shawal to make that run. Farhan also very quick. Nagasawa. Plenty of pace about him as well. Here's Nichiguchi. Applin does well. What we've got now is Mitsuzawa has come onto this right-hand side. Clementino is not happy with that. Comes storming out of his area, and then referee in charge there. He got it right. Well, that wasn't a great challenge. Actually, a very poor one. Mitsuzuka, excuse me. Mitsuzuka's on this right-hand side now, where Faraz was earlier. Hafiz Sujad comes forward. He's got options, maybe a little bit too much to do for Farhan. And Sakuma tidies up. But they're always trying to, you can see, trying to set free Shawal and Farhan. Here's Afik. There's another foul. Oh, that's what Taniguchi felt anyway. Rio. Nagasawa wanted an earlier ball in. Still Rio. Kurishima. That comes off his own player, Nagasawa. Fabian clears. Just trying to crank up the pressure here. Albirex. And I think that's just prompted Clementino to come out of his dugout. Talking to, I think, Afik Noor there. Yeah, they just want to nip this in the bud, don't they, Hougang? Just feel a bit of a resurgence from Albirex. It's now Nagasawa has gone up top with Doi, with Rio on the left and Mitsuzuka on the right-hand side. Here's Sakuma. Play the quick ball onto Doi, who's trying to get that to Nagasawa. Oh, here's Doi. Oh, they've got the goal! They found the way through. Didn't think anything was on. Taniguchi has curled that in past Ridwan Baradin. And they are now certainly up with the 3 points and looking good for the title with still a good 40-odd minutes. But Tampines, remember, down against Geylang International. And Taniguchi, how crucial could that goal be in the final reckoning? Didn't seem that anything was on here. That was poor from Nazrul Nazari. Gave the ball to Doi. Might have even taken a slight deflection, Taniguchi's shot. He may get a better idea here. What was he thinking there, Nazrul Nazari? Poor clearance. Yeah, I think there may well have been a little deflection. Well, that is huge, isn't it? Ryoya Taniguchi's goal. As of now, just consolidates their position. Shigatomi, though, has still plenty of time in this game. It will be nervy, that's for sure. They'll be annoyed at themselves, though. He's gone for goal as well now, the new man in, Mitsuzuka. Oh, by the way, we can say there's some couple other goals in the Young Lions game. It's not half time there. There were 2 goals right at the end of it. Ryan Stewart, and then on the 45th and then the 47th, Ilhan Fandi. Well, that means that Tanjung may go through the season as the first side to ever finish a campaign without a win, though to be fair, it was very much a truncated campaign. Here's Afik. Now Farhan. They do look a better unit, don't they, in this second half. Wigan Kwok. Oh, lovely work from Nikesh. Great turn from him. Fabian. Here's a shot. Oh, wow, it's not all that far away from Muhaimin. Yeah, I think he'd be right to go for that one. Lovely work, and again, Nikesh really made that move, didn't he? That was a little bit of a soft goal, one to concede. Oh, good, nice combination there with Hashioka and Mitsuzuka. Gets the cross in up to Ryo Nishiguchi. Here comes Kamata. Oh, lovely from him, with a bit of a chop. Lionel Tan with the header away. They're a bit under pressure now, aren't they, Albirex? Afik Noor. Here's Fabian. Again, it falls kindly. Couple of blocks Got to get themselves set here. Hougang facing quite a bit of pressure. Farhan. Just wonder whether we're going to see any changes. Well, Shafiq Ghani, Dana Martins would be the obvious attacking options. Taniguchi's goal that separates these two sides could be all that's needed. Just his 4th goal this season, Taniguchi. As I mentioned, how important will that be at the end of it all? Here's Anders Applin. To their credit, Albirex are not just sitting back here, they are looking for the second. Kamata. Took a bit of a deflection, that one. Will be a corner. They're very happy the ball's up this end at the moment. Now, this is where they could be susceptible. A lot of big players here in Albirex ranks. Fired over. Again, I go back to the fact that they haven't had too many really good opportunities here, Albirex. The difference is they have taken their chance. Still 1-0 in that big game, Eastern Derby, between Geylang International and Lion City Sailors. Geylang International and Tampines Rovers. 3-1 Lion City Sailors and Ballister Khalsa. As things stand, the title will go to Albirex Niigata, and the final AFC Cup spot goes to Geylang International. Kamata. Now Sakuma. Too heavy a touch on by Doi. He's just dropping a little bit here. Taniguchi. Away by Applin. They're just beginning to lose that midfield battle, aren't they? Hougang. Yeah, that attacking verve as well. And it's gone. Here is Shawal. He comes forward, looking for support, trying to bring in Farhan. Mitsuzuka, that was actually really good work by Taniguchi. Here's Ryo Nishiguchi on the byline. Good work from him. And equally, Fabian Kwok was tracking that. But it does seem a little bit of a rear guard action at the moment from the home side. He's just had a bit of a knock there, Kurishima. Another goal, and that you would feel the way this is going would settle things for Albirex. And then we'll certainly condemn Tampines Rovers. Well, we do know, of course, that they have scored the opening goal in 8 of their last 9 matches. Now it makes it 9 in 10. So no surprises that they have done that. Also, Hougang have also conceded first. And they've done that quite a lot in their most recent matches. Conceded first goal in the last 5. Now it's 6. They've also kept just 1 clean sheet in this whole season. Actually, in all competitions, including AFC, they've just kept 1 clean sheet in 16 matches. That is the problem, isn't it? Just got to watch things. No need to get upset. Watch their temper. Concentrate on the football. Shawal and Muhaimin. Focus on the game. We saw Geylang International lose their heads the other day against Young Lions, and it almost cost them. Sending off the current is up now. Really, Shawal, that was unnecessary and could easily have been booked for that. Johaman Zaiton having a word. Maybe quite lucky there, to be honest with you. Could have been booked or worse. Now, Lionel Tan to play a ball into the area. It's stood up, and there's some very big players. Not easy for Hougang. Yeah, they've barely threatened in the second half, have they? Certainly very different feel to this game now. Well, we have got a goal back for Tanjong Pagar. Luis Junior has scored a penalty. He's having a little renaissance towards the end of the season. He's now 6 goals for the Brazilian. He's been one of the few bright sparks for Tanjong Pagar, not exactly known for scoring goals. And again, neither are Young Lions, so they've got 3 today, which is impressive. Talking of goals, will we see one here from Hougang? Make things a little interesting. Racing forward there Mitsuzuka. Now Nishiguchi. Nagasawa on that left-hand side. Nishiguchi. That comes off Afik. Doi. And it's straight at Ridwan. They put the ball out of play. There is a man down. I think it's Fabian Kwok. This is the chance for Doi. As I said, he's racked up more shots than anyone else in the league. More than 70 of them. And the next best, Tampines Kopitovic and Balestiers Krajcek. Well, we're having the drinks break right now as treatment is being given to the captain, Fabian Kwok. This is the goal. It looked perhaps Afik Noor got a little touch on it, but I don't want to take anything away from Taniguchi's goal. Will this give us a bit more of an idea? Didn't look like anything was on. The way the ball is turning just feels like it might have. That won't matter at all to Albirex Niigata. They are in front, and they are looking good at the moment for their 4th top-tier title in Singapore football. Yeah, it is Fabian Kwok who's receiving the treatment, and it is not looking positive at the moment for him. I just wonder whether they would think of bringing someone else on. It looks like he's going to be okay. And he's screening, as we said, in front of the back 4. He's just testing it out. Now, if it's not good, what will they do? Will they try and take a gamble and bring on someone like a Shafiq Ghani and shift things around a little bit? Yeah, I just heard Shafiq being called. 2 players, in fact. Couldn't quite get the first name. Yeah, it's Faiz Saleh and Shafiq Ghani, who are going to be coming on shortly. Yeah, I think Shafiq was probably going to come on at some point anyway, for added firepower. And perhaps Faiz now, because of what's just happened with Fabian. Odd minutes left in this game. As things stand, and I'll keep repeating this, of course, because of just the nature of what's happening today. Albirex Niigata are on their way to another SPL title, unless something special happens, not just here from Hougang, but also at our Tampines hub. Faiz Saleh is the first to come on. I think it should be Fabian. It is indeed. Now,
substitution for Hougang United, number 12, Fabian Kwok is being replaced by number 17, Faiz Saleh.
So now Faiz Saleh, I'm assuming, just sits. Or will it be Afik Noor who just drops back? It does look like it's Afik. Let's keep an eye on that one. There is Faiz. No, Nazrul Nazari, that's probably too much for Muhaimin. Faiz has won the ball back here. Nikesh. Here's Hafiz Sujad. Farhan has been quiet this second half. Goes out wide towards Muhaimin. Looks up now. These kind of balls always going to be hard. Kept alive by Hafiz Sujad. Always going to be difficult from there. I think they've just put the Shafiq Ghani change on hold. Still 1-0 to Geylang International against Tampines Rovers at our Tampines hub, which is great for Albirex and great for Geylang, of course. No real hurry now, Albirex, so you can't blame them either. This is a little bit harder, isn't it, for Hougang without their foreign players. They really have a much thinner squad. Hafiz. It's good work from Afik. Now Nikesh. Goes out wide to Nazrul Nazari. Haven't seen many of those storming runs that he's well known for with his pace. Have to be a little bit more conservative. Afik. Shafik got a little touch on that. So look at the size difference between Nazrul and Ryo Nishiguchi. They're asking for a goal kick. Sorry, they're asking for a corner. It's going to be a goal kick. Clementeau's not impressed with that at all. I think it's just a bit of frustration, really. The side have been very quiet in the second half. To be fair, Ridwan has actually not had that much to do either, apart from picking the ball out of the back of his goal. It's not like there have been loads of chances. Oh, a bit of a miss kick here from Mitsuzuka, and again, sails well over. They've not been too worried about these sort of chances. Interesting to see only 2 changes have been made with just 15 minutes left. And those, sorry, 2 for Albirex, 1 for Hougang, with Faisal coming on for Fabian Kwok. Now will they try to pile some numbers on? Want to send it forward. Here's Afik. I think the problem with sending these aerial balls is that they have a very short forward lineup. Faiz. Great work from him again. Out wide. Nikesh. Muhaimin. Yeah, these are the kind of balls that are very difficult for their forwards. They rather go into channels and ball to feet. Here's Hafiz. Now Farhan. Lovely work from him. Back to Hafiz. Tried to slip it through, and oh, that just fell apart from Muhaimin. But promising. That is better. That's the kind of attack they need. Bit of a patient approach. Referee, by the way, Johaman Zaiton, is just saying as well. To the goalkeeper, Okawa, you need to get on with it. He's got more clean sheets than anyone else. 9 shots to 10, most of them have been pretty wild ones. Nishiguchi. Here's Kamata. So Faisale is the one, in fact, sitting in front of the forward, basically taking Fabian Kwok's role. I was just a bit surprised that we're not seeing Shafiq Ghani just yet. Here's Shawal. Waited for some support. Again, those kind of balls are not going to cause problems to this Albirex defense. Here's Hashioka. He's got Hafiz Shuja in front of him, who does enough. Right, now we are going to see Shafiq Ghani come on. That's good. That's a positive move from Clementio. Who will they take off? I would think probably Muhaimin. Maybe partner Shawal Anwar. Let's see. You would think it's Muhaimin. Farhan still possesses a real attacking threat at times. He's got the pace as well. Touch on there from the diminutive Mitsuzuka. Here's Doi. Mitsuzuka, back to Doi. Right across the goal, and it's easy enough. No problems there. Touch on from Taniguchi. Big ball up towards Shawal. That's always going to be easy, as I said. Keep saying it. It's 1-1, by the way, at our Tampines hub. Is there still a sting in this tail? Tampines Rovers going to make things interesting. Now, they need Albirex to do them a favor here. And they're about to bring on an attacker. Remember, if they get that 1 point, they need Albirex to lose. So we need to see if Hougang can get 2 goals. Not an easy prospect for a side that has struggled to score this season. There we go. It's Baihaki Kaizan who's got the goal in the 79th minute. And it is going to be Muhaimin who's going to be substituted. Shafiq Ghani to come on.
Substitution for Hougang United, number 20, Muhaimin Suhaimi is being replaced by number 7, Shafiq Ghani.
He's certainly more goal-oriented. Right now, Albirex are coming forward. They committed a lot of players forward. And that's fired over by Doi. They were just a bit stretched there, Hougang. Well, I think we're going to have a little bit of drama now towards the end. If Hougang get a goal here, it will be a grandstand finish to this season. If Tampines get a goal as well, it could be interesting. Remember, a draw is enough for Albirex. Out wide. This is Nagasawa. It's good work from Afik Noor. Nishiguchi. They're very good at keeping the ball when they need it, when they need to. In this Albirex side. Afik. Ball is in the wrong part of the field for them. No foul. Here's Shawal. Now Hafiz. Just had a little slip. He's got away with that. Out to Farhan Zulkifli. Are they going to commit a few more going forward now? Oh, they're giving a free kick here. Well, a throw, and interesting. Now remember what we were saying about aerial balls, just difficult for this Hougang side. They have got likes of Lionel Tan, who gets on the end of it, and that will be easy for Okawa. Time starting to run out here for everyone concerned. While we wait for this, let's see if there's any other updates. Clementio. Remember, he's not actually playing for very much at the moment. It's 4-1, by the way, Lion City Sailors. They've just got a goal. Song Wei-Yung against Balestical, so that's still working out very nicely for Geylang International. I think they are pretty much through with the goal difference now. Oh, there's a foul there on Farhan by Hashioka. That didn't look great, got to say. So while we await this, as he's receiving treatment, Farhan, have a look at what happened. I think he just trod on him, was it on his Achilles? It didn't look great, didn't get a booking either. He's not happy, Clementio feels that more punishment should be given. Given away by Aplin. Here's Doi. Nishizawa. Nagasawa, excuse me, and it doesn't do well there. He needs to get on with it, Ridwan. Hafiz. Completely missed that one. Faiz. Wasn't a great goal kick to start with. Nazrul Nazari. Here is Shawal. He needs to be further up. He's just not getting the ball, is he? At all in the second half. Very hard for him. Now Lionel. I wonder if they'll think about pushing him further forward in his final few moments. Well, their priority is, of course, to try and get something out of this game. The flag has gone up for offside on Nishiguchi. Yeah, Shafiq has gone into a more central role. It's Shawal out on that wide role. Lionel to Aplin. Nice ball back from Hafiz Shujad. There'll be another change coming up for Hougang. Faiz. Here's Nazrul. And now Shawal. Back to Nazrul. Not really too many options for him. Lionel. There's a lot of work for Shafiq to do here. Oh, lovely turn. I'm not sure that was a foul, to be fair.
Substitution for Hougang United, number 24, Farhan Zulkifli, being replaced by number 16, Justin Hui.
Justin Hui, who scored for the opening goal against Palace in the last game, replaces Farhan. He'll be on this left-hand side. Afek away. Now Faiz. Tries to get that ball up to Shawa. That was telegraphed, wasn't it? Couldn't quite control it. Kamata. Needs to be another goal, either here from Hougang or from Tampines Rovers. We don't have much time left. Otherwise, the title will return to Albirex Niigata after a year away when it was with Brunei DPMM. Nikesh up to Nazrul. Anders Aplin looks up. He's got Hafiz Shujad in front of him. Run by Justin Hui. He allows Hashioka to get in front of him. Yeah, they're just not as crisp with the passing, are they, in this second half? Shafagani won't get there, and it's hurriedly cleared just to be safe by Okawa. Still 1-1 Tampines Rovers against Geelong International. Now they've given the ball away. Here comes Nishiguchi. They're backing off, but easy for Ridwan. Nicely done by Nikesh. He's slightly quieter in the second half. That's never going to be an easy ball. Not even if you're Shawal Anwar with his pace. He had a little warning in the first half with the goal kick, Okawa. Only 3 minutes of added time. 3 minutes away from another league title for Albirex Niigata. And we quickly turn our attentions to our Tampines hub, where it's still 1-1. As things stand, it will be Albirex Niigata who will take the 2020 title, unless something extremely dramatic now happens in these next few minutes. Here's Faisale. Up to Justin Hui. Hafiz Shujad. Was there a foul? No, says the referee. Lionel Tan. Forward by Nikesh. That's a good ball. Shafegani, can he pull the trigger? Oh, he's fired it over. Their chance is gone. Their best chance of the second half. Shafik just over the crossbar. It's a lovely ball from Nikesh. He let it bounce a couple of times. The angle was getting more and more acute. And by the time he took the shot, well, it just became that much harder for him. But it was a good effort nonetheless. Anyway, just to remind you, even if it was a draw, it would not be enough for Tampines Rovers. We have a change here. A late change. Takahashi, who's on for Nagasawa. What a ball that was from Nikesh. And Zaplin looks like he's joining the attack. They get a foul. Now they'll pile some bodies forward. Remind you again, even if they get an equaliser here, it wouldn't be enough. It is still 1-1 at Al Tampines Hub. Still, would make things a little bit more interesting if they can get a goal. Surely not going to go from here. That's flicked over. And that could well be it. I think it is all over here. Referee wants the keeper to get on with it. You can understand why they are taking their time here. No great hurry whatsoever. The referee puts a whistle to his lips, and that is it. Albirex Niigata have won this match, and they have taken the 2020 Singapore Premier League title. Another fantastic performance over this year, a very difficult year for everyone concerned, but Albirex Niigata have shown that quality when it mattered most. Shigatomi gets a congratulations of Clementio. Doesn't really matter now what happens in the other game. He just had to win, and they've done the job. There was perhaps some drama, potential for drama at the end, but the only goal that separates the two sides is from Ryoya Taniguchi in the 53rd minute. No real celebrations just yet, but I'm sure there will be. A job done against Hougang United, a very feisty and a very able Hougang in the first half, but they just didn't have enough in the tank in the second. They've gone over to get the plaudits from their fans. I think they put up a really good fight in the first 45. They held off as much as they could. Really, they only presented Albirex Niigata with just one or two decent opportunities. Now the smiles are coming on their faces. They can celebrate as they just get off the pitch. It's been a thoroughly professional performance from this Albirex Niigata side. Champions in 2016, champions in 2017, champions in 2018, and they're now champions again in 2020 in this truncated season because of COVID-19. The other game just finishing off at our Tampines Hub. Tampines Rovers knew they needed a bit of help from Albirex Niigata, from Hougang United today. And what's great to see, by the way, is that there are some Albirex Niigata fans as well, just outside the stadium. They're here to celebrate. Good to see fans from both sides. There's some cheerleaders as well. There you go, great scenes. And in these very odd and complicated times, it's good to see the fans. More on that in a while. Here are the highlights of this match. It was a very good start from Hougang, who came at Albirex, took the game to them. This was a great chance. Nikesh, for me, probably man of the match. He created some of the best opportunities for Hougang. That one putting Farhan through. This was the best chance, I think, for Albirex in the first half, of coming off Doi, their top scorer this season. Shawal here with a lovely effort on the turn. I think, to be fair, the keeper Okawa always had it covered. Who's had yet another clean sheet. Doi with a pretty straightforward shot at Ridwan Baradin. Now this was a cheeky dink over by Shawal, almost got it in, and that's why I'm saying that they were probably the better of the two sides. Not probably, they were the better two sides. Faris Hassan with a late strike. That was again well covered by Ridwan. This was the goal, given away really by Nazrul Nazareth, who was attempting to clear that. It came into the path of Taniguchi, may have got slight deflection of Hafiz. That doesn't matter, he's credited with the goal, and that's the only one that we had in this game. Surely didn't mean to pass that to Doi, of all people. He just laid it up for Taniguchi. His 4th goal this season, and boy, how important would that be? Well, as the night wore on, Albirex started to pile on the efforts, but again, not too many of them caused problems for Ridwan and the Hougang defense. And this was the best of the bunch outside of the goal, waiting and waiting Doi, but in the end, a good position, but he could only fire over. And this was a lovely ball into the path of Shafiqani. Maybe just let it go across him a little too much. And that is how the table ends. Albirex Niigata are the champions by 3 points ahead of Tampines Rovers, who only could get a draw. Lion City Sailors have thrashed Balasa Khalsa, and their all-important 4th spot goes to Geelong International. They will go to the AFC Cup group stages. They pip Balasa Khalsa on the final day. And Young Lions have beaten Tanjong Pagar, so they will finish in 7th. And I'm afraid Tanjong Pagar United are the first side to have gone through an entire campaign without a win to their name. And let's just confirm here the score for you at the Hougang Stadium. Albirex Niigata have not only beaten Hougang United by a goal to nil, they're also your new SPL champions.
There'll be a rope lah. Then the captain last time. Yeah.
Question: why they can bring supporters in? Yeah, why they got so many staff? I didn't know Albirex got so many staff. Why? Yeah. How come? Yeah.
They submitted a list for anytime.
Then why didn't you ask us whether we wanted to?
Can we stand?
Okay, good. No, don't worry, it's over. It's done with. I'll just keep.
Test, audio, test, can?
Yeah.
Okay, boleh. Okay, coach, was it a fair result, or do you think you should have gotten something from the game?
I mean, in all honesty, I mean, naturally we felt that we could have done something. Yeah, we had our chances. It's basically we were playing very well. We were dominating the game in the first half, and if we could have finished our chances, which unfortunately for a young kid like Fahan is a very good experience for him. Yeah, but overall I am very pleased with the performance of my players. But of course, I've got to give credit to Albirex. I mean, they have done well all season. They have been very consistent. Yeah.
And, what are your overall thoughts on your team's performance throughout the season?
I mean, look, overall, for the season, yes, we set a target. We didn't meet the target at all. Naturally, everyone is very disappointed. But I think that there's a lot of room for improvement. Basically, this team is, if you watch the game, they basically did very well. And it is something that I would like to have next year.
Right, thank you, coach.
Thank you.
Glenn. I got 3 minutes, bro. Can I get the interview for Albirex? I got 3 minutes. Get the media. I'm setting up. Who's the media? see, I need the coach. I got 2 minutes for the interview. I need the
Nas, kas ba sini, Nas?
What does this mean for your team? Overall performance for the whole season? Your team. Two question. What does this mean to your team? Your fourth title.
First title. This
Fourth
year.
title. Yeah.
Fourth title.
So what does this mean? Congratulations on winning your fourth title. How much does this mean for the club?
Thank you very much. We are Japanese team. Were allowed to join the SPL, and then we have to show all people we are a good team, and even off the pitch, attitude, behavior. So this is important things.
What are your overall thoughts on your team's performance this season?
Yeah, it was a very tough season. However, finally we got title, so we are so happy today.
All right, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, done. Let's go.
Coach, Sanjay C, coach.
We are back at Hougang Stadium. The final round of the 2020 season has come to a close. Hougang United have lost to Albirex Niigata by a single goal thanks to Ryota Taniguchi's strike in the 53rd minute. And we will have the prize giving ceremony, the trophy presentation shortly as we get all that sorted out. Reminder that as we came into this final day, there were two teams in contention for the title. One of them was here, Albirex Niigata, and the other one was Tampines Rovers. They had to better the result here, of course. As long as Albirex won, then that would be impossible. They were needing a favour from Hougang United, who came close, has to be said, on various occasions. And also, they needed to beat, or at least do well against Gelang, and by all accounts, unable to do better than just the one goal from Baihaki Kaizan in reply to Barry Maguire's earlier goal. And these are your results, again, just to reiterate. 1-0, Albirex Niigata defeating Hougang, of course, here at the Hougang Stadium. Tanjung Pagar United against Young Lions at Jurong East. That was to see who finished bottom of the table. Young Lions scoring 4 goals. That is unusual, isn't it? But Tanjung Pagar have had a tough old time. 5-2 winners. Lion City Sailors against Balestier Khalsa, and 1-1 ended between Tampines Rovers and Geylang International. And that is how the table looks and how it ends for the 2020 campaign, with Albirex Niigata winning it by 3 points in the end. 10 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, and an 18 goal difference. Tampines Rovers will go to the AFC Champions League as the highest placed local side. That will be interesting to see as well. Lion City Sailors, the high-flying Lion City Sailors, with all the resources that they have, finish 3rd. This is kind of a transitional season, to be fair to them, and they will be in the AFC Cup, competition they're very familiar with. These are the highlights, by the way, of this match here at Hougang Stadium, where Hougang started very brightly indeed, and for me, the better side in the first half. Nikesh setting up Farahania, who's got to do better. Took the ball away from the keeper, then sort of lost his cool a little bit and smashed the ball when he had time. This was the best opportunity for Albirex, with Doi hitting the post. He really didn't have too many opportunities. Afik Noor set up Shawa with a great chance here. Had the goalkeeper scrambling, Okawa. And then this was a pretty innocuous effort from Doi to Ridwan. This was another effort from Shawal with a cheeky little dink over the keeper. And Faraz Hassan with a late strike for Albirex. Again, Ridwan had that covered. Ridwan really didn't have to make massive saves in this. But this was the goal. And it was from Taniguchi off, I have to say, a mistake from Nazrul Nazari. Nazrul's got to do better with that clearance. Doi setting up Taniguchi. And that would be the only goal of the game. Not really too many other clear-cut chances. Shomadoi firing over. This was a wonderful, wonderful chance for Shafiq Ghani. Again, it wouldn't have made a difference in the end, because Tampines Rovers failed to win their game. Right, we're going to get a little bit of match reaction here. Let's hear from Clementio of Hougang United.
Okay, Coach, was it a fair result, or do you think you should have gotten something from the game?
I mean, in all honesty, I mean, naturally we felt that we could have done something. Yeah, we had our chances. It's basically we were playing very well. We were dominating the game in the first half, and if we could have finished our chances, which unfortunately for a young kid like Fahan is a very good experience for him. Yeah, but overall I am very pleased with the performance of my players. But of course, I've got to give credit to Albirex. I mean, they have done well all season. They have been very consistent. Yeah.
And, what are your overall thoughts on your team's performance throughout the season?
I mean, look, overall, for the season, yes, we set a target. We didn't meet the target at all. Naturally, everyone is very disappointed. But I think that there's a lot of room for improvement. Basically, this team is, if you watch the game, they basically did very well. And it is something that I would like to have next year.
So the thoughts there of Clementio, and ultimately he'll look back at it as a season that started with so much promise. In the AFC Cup, they'd had their highest ever finish in the SPL last season. They found it hard in the AFC, and they lost their foreign signings as the season progressed. Stipe Plazibat, of course, moved to Lion City Sailors. Great scenes there as we see the Albirex players basking in the glory. Many of these guys, of course, very young, haven't played football at this kind of level, and they have a title to their name. It is a very special thing, of course. And of course, we do know with the nature of Albirex Niigata that many of these guys won't be here next season. They move on to other clubs, sometimes to Japan or elsewhere. And there's the team that has really made this club so special. 4 titles in 5 years. That's how good they've been. Albirex Niigata. 4 league titles, by the way. They've also won the League Cups. They've won 3 League Cups. They've won 3 effectively FA Cups. They've won 3 Community Shields. This year the Community Shield, of course, went to Tampines Rovers at the start of the season when they beat Hougang 3-0. What a very different Hougang that was, wasn't it? But certainly, you've got to look back at just the consistency of how they approach things. This Albirex side, who are methodical, they place a lot of emphasis on fitness. And what's great as well, of course, in the last couple of years is they've integrated a whole bunch of Singaporean players. And this year, Iman Hakim was one of the standouts. Fairoz joining later on. But they can also have a little claim to that glory as well, which is great for them. Okada, another clean sheet for him. He's got the most in the league. 8 clean sheets out of 14 is really not bad at all, is it? Impressive. In the end, their record stands as 14 goals conceded in 14 games. Okada will be very happy with that. 8 out of 16. Which means, actually, if you think about it, that's 14 goals in 6 games. Which isn't so great. And a couple of heavy defeats. One of them, of course, was recently to Albirex Niigata. You just saw Fairoz there celebrating. He's got the flag around him, the flag of Albirex Niigata. So a few of these Singapore players can now join the ranks. He's there with Gareth Lowe, another local player of this championship winning side. They've all played their part, haven't they? And that's great to see. Albirex have plans, of course. They want to become a fully local side if they can. And they've worked hard for it. They've really integrated well with the community too. Just awaiting the presentation to happen very shortly. Let's hear from the assistant manager of the team, Yuki Fujimoto, with his thoughts.
Congratulations on winning your 4th title. How much does this mean for the club?
Thank you very much. We are Japanese team. Were allowed to join the SPL, and then we have to show all people we are a good team, and even off the pitch, attitude, behavior. So this is important things.
What are your overall thoughts on your team's performance this season?
Yeah, it was a very tough season. However, finally we got title, so we are so happy today.
All right, thank you, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good to get the thoughts of Yuki Fujimoto, who will be celebrating later, I'm sure. For now, though, we are going to take a break. When we come back, we will have the prize presentation here at Hougang Stadium. back at Hougang Stadium for the prize presentation that's going to happen very shortly. Albirex Niigata have defeated Hougang United in the final game of the season. They needed to win to be absolutely sure of getting the title, which they did through Ryota Taniguchi's 53rd minute strike. That was enough to give them the championship. We have got Mr. Lim Kia Tong here, the president of the Football Association of Singapore, for this prize presentation. With two teams in contention this evening, it was always going to be interesting to see how it panned out. Tampines Rovers, remember, were the other side that had a chance, but they had to win, or hope at least that Hougang could do them a favour. Presentation panel there, ready to go.
For the Singapore Premier League 2020, please give it up for Albirex Niigata, Singapore.
And Albirex Niigata now will go up. They go up to collect their medals themselves, of course, a bit different now in these unusual times. Alvin Fu there is the Chief Corporate Solutions Officer next to Lim Kia Tong, President of FAS. Of course, AIA are the title sponsor of the Singapore Premier League, so good to have their support this year. All these guys have played a part, remember, in making it the very efficient machine, the juggernaut really of Singapore football that is Albirex Niigata these days. Fourth title, as I said, in 5 years. The last local side to win a title was Warriors in 2014. And next to Mr. Lim Kia Tong, of course, is Daichi Korinaga, the chairman of Albirex Niigata. And he will be so happy once again that his side have done it. Now for the presentation of the trophy to Kazuki Hashioka, the skipper of Albirex Niigata. First of all, the winner's check of $150,000. Care of AIA, the champion's check. Daisuke Korinaga will be, I'm sure, very happy with that influx of money coming in into their club. I'm sure the players will get some of that as well. And here we go. Kazuki Hashioka, skipper of Albirex Niigata. The team, they want him over there with the trophy, don't they? Here we go. He's going to go over to his side, I'm sure. They're getting ready. And your champions of the AIA Singapore Premier League 2020. It's Albirex Niigata. Celebrating, I'm afraid, in an empty stadium. That's how things are in 2020, but they are worthy winners of this trophy yet again. Albirex Niigata, their 4th league title in 5 years. There is the coach, Keiji Shigatomi, who deserves a lot of the credit as well. And he comes over now to grab that silverware with his team. Lovely scenes here at the Hougang Stadium. I'm sure there will be celebrations somewhere, socially distanced, of course. And Albirex claim yet another title. What a great few years it's been for this club. It all started 2011 when they won the League Cup. And then in 2016 or 2015 it all began again with the League Cup and Singapore Cup, and then their first league title in 2016. Looks like they all want to be able to raise it up, and no one jumped up there with Takeda, who has been a real rock at the back. How many of these guys will be with the club next season? We often see many of them moving on. That's the nature of Albirex Niigata. Remember, most of these players are 21 and below, and they're getting the staff involved as well. This is lovely to see, really lovely. Touching gesture. They're all part of it, remember that. It's not just the players on the pitch, it's the backroom staff. It's everyone involved with the club, which has been by far the most successful club in the last few years. Ryo Sakuma showing his affection for everyone concerned. And so there we have it, your champions. One more time to lift the trophy, why not? Fourth league title, fourth lift of the trophy. Very appropriate. And that brings to an end a rather difficult year, not just in football, but in so much else. COVID-19 has struck the world hard. Singapore has done a pretty good job of it. We had a truncated season. We're happy to have even got the 14 games in. No DPMM, but we still managed to finish 2 rounds. And from all of us here, thank you so much for joining us, not just tonight, but throughout this shorter season. Thank you for supporting us, and we look forward to seeing you again, hopefully with a full season in 2021. From me, Shazad Haq, and the team here at the Hougang Stadium, thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll see you next year.